Welcome in, y'all. Let me text Bailey. Let me text Bailey. All right. How's everyone doing? It's cold. We got almost a foot of snow. All right. As soon as all the advocates show up in here. Can you send this to Devin?
I sure can. Give me just a second and I'll send it to her.
I texted Bailey. She'll be in here in a minute. Hey, Lady Jane. Hey, Miss Cat. All right. While we're waiting for everybody, if you guys could, please power tap that screen. Can you type in that group, Nikki, and let them know that we're live? Hey, hippie, hang out. You're going to want to be here for this one. Hey, Kara. Yeah, definitely. Power tap that screen, y'all. I don't know who all wants to come up.
Oh, okay.
I know Mind the Monsters don't care about getting in boxes.
Not at all. I am honored to be up here in your box.
Okay, Bailey's here.
Yep. I'm trying to watch the chat so I can let you know when they come in.
Hey, Bailey.
What's up? I'll mute and keep my camera off until we get going.
Yeah, that's fine. We're just getting everybody in here. Nikki, can you send that link to Amanda's family? Hey, Georgia. All right. So we're waiting on the Aware Foundation. We are waiting on Missing in America Network.
Can he send it to me? Where is he?
Munchie's here. Munchie, did you want a box or no? Okay, Kenny, do you want a box? Okay, Munchie. Alright. You're eating? Okay, that's fine. Oh, you're alright. So, I think all we're waiting on now is Jazz coming. Yes, Munchie, this is a very critical live stream. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff going on. I can bring you up, Hippie.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. You will come in handy for this live stream because I got Bailey here to explain all the do's and don'ts when it comes to bringing in a search and rescue team. And you're a licensed private investigator. You can probably explain how to verify if someone is actually a licensed PI and not a scam artist. But we have been seeing a very large increase in fake pages that are exploiting missing children, missing adults, all over Facebook. And it's gotten to the point to where all the advocates had enough. These families don't deserve what they're going through. And to have scam artists trying to profit off of their tragedy is sickening. But let me go to our group and I'll start naming off some names. You've probably seen these. Okay, so you've probably seen pages like the Baxters. You've probably seen posts by an individual named Peter Griffin. Melina, or Melody, Melinda. Rex and Roman, the Roddy. Sophia Gonzalez, USA Family, Missing People in America, Civilization Stories, Missing Cases, Vesey Missing, New Truth, and the list goes on. There are thousands and thousands of these pages showing up all over Facebook. These are all monetized pages, and some of them, if you go into their descriptions, you'll realize they're not even from the United States. And we've had a situation prior with Missing People in America where we had to expose the founder of that organization. And after that, all these pages just mysteriously started showing up. So we decided enough is enough. These families go through enough. They don't need to deal with this. Has Jazz made it in here yet? It is. It's mind-blowing. Why do they do this? So, Gigi, the reason why they do it is money. They get paid for engagement. If you comment, if you like, if you interact in their page, they get paid off of it. And what makes it even weirder is the fact that these pages look like bot pages. They hundreds of thousands of followers, but the engagement doesn't match that. So what the engagement and the follower count is significant to is they paid for followers to get, I guess you could say, fake engagement. Now, it has gotten to the point where they are posting cases that have already been closed, already been canceled, days, weeks, months after they were already found and located, just to profit off of the post. And it's disgusting, y'all. We see it all the time. All the time. And it's become more of a common thing. Now, I did bring Bailey here because there has been quite a lot of people claiming to be search teams, claiming to be licensed dog handlers. Now, Bailey can explain how you can find out if they are legit and the avenues to go to report it if they are not. So, Bailey, that's all you.
Thank you. So it is good to be familiar with the national organizations that kind of govern the SAR world. So you have NASAR, you have different organizations. I mean, if you kind of Google search and rescue organizations, a lot of the top tier will show up, which NASAR is a national association for search and rescue, and a lot of the legit people, teams, handlers go through that specific association. But there are different other ones, so I don't want to just negate the other ones that are out there. But you can look up, so all, like, even my information is listed. All my certifications through them are listed on their website. So, and I also have my certificates. So even if you don't want to go through the process of looking them up on whatever website, you can ask for their certificates. If they are a handler, they have a specific certificate for the dog and the handler paired together. So a dog can be certified, but the dog has to be paired with the handler that's on the certificate as well. So if you have a certified dog being handled by a non-certified handler, then it kind of negates itself, because the dog and the handler are certified together. You can also go through, there are police associations that do certify civilians. NAPWADA is one of them. And those also give credible certifications for handlers and canines. So when it comes to the teams, it is very important to find a team that is very stringent on getting the correct schooling. And that is, your SARTEX, your SARTEC 2, your crime scene investigation, crime scene preservation, all these different types of classes and certificates that you can get as a professional, that one adds legitimacy, and actually you learn how to do it correctly. So in case you do come up on something, you are not destroying evidence or doing things illegally, like, sending a dog where it's not supposed to go, sending your people where they're not supposed to go. All these things, all the legalities come into it. So it's very important to be certified in this field, even as a civilian, because the family, and when you're working with law enforcement, it goes hand in hand, and there is a huge disconnect between the civilian world and the LE world when it comes to the volunteer side of SAR, because there's so many bad apples, and that just leaves a bad taste in a lot of departments' mouths.
Did I distract you by changing it?
A little bit, but I don't know what else to say. Ask me some questions.
Yes, and like Jazz, did you want to come up? Working with law enforcement is a big thing. 100%.
And the reputation that you as an individual or a team have with departments is huge, because the sooner you can have that relationship with them and get out there, the sooner you can help. But they're not going to work with untrained, uncertified people because it puts the department and the case at risk. And I don't blame them. So when you have these families or you have these people that come in and you say X, Y, and Z about the LE world, well, that's why they're so hesitant to work with civilians and the volunteer side of this, because we've had a lot of people spoiled the bunch for the rest of us that are actually busting our butts every day to do what we're supposed to do and do it the correct way and the lawful way.
Now, final question for you. If someone comes across, like, remember Jen's situation, charged her $4,000, she paid it. What can somebody do if they run into that type of a scenario?
So, first and foremost, if you ever have a quote unquote SAR professional or team say, hey, I can come do this and work this case for X amount of money, run. Right, simple as that. As soon as they ask for money, run. Because we do not ask for money. We do not ask for anything. We come out and we do what we're supposed to do because that's why we got in this field. Does it come with expenses? It absolutely does, but a lot of the teams are legit 501s, or they do private donations. Everything I do on the volunteer side is 100% out of my pocket. I do not get paid for the volunteer side of things. I don't get paid to travel X, Y, and Z because I do it because that's why I'm in this business. So if you have somebody that's saying, hey, I'll do it for $4,000 and they live in the same state as you, that's a huge red flag. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I could understand if you've got a specific handler or people that you want to bring in and they're asking for help for gas or whatever to get there. I could understand doing a fundraiser, but never charging the family to do it. And that comes into being connected and saying, hey, I can't come to you, but I know X, Y, and Z that's in the area that is legit. That's networking. And that can come and help you and pass the case along.
Most definitely. Now, Tactical, you're a licensed PI in the state of Tennessee. As you are well aware, the case that we're working on, Missing in America, is involved with, Devin's involved with, Mind the Monsters was all involved with. The PI that reached out to the detective. Thankfully, the detective did warn the family. But what can somebody do? Other than we all know they can say, hey, I want to see your PI license. What else can somebody do to find that information?
Definitely. Seeing a license or asking for a license number is definitely important because you can do the work yourself and look it up. But you can search the individual's name. Never an advertisement should come from only a business name. Always a name needs to be attached. So if you see an advertisement for a private investigator that is not their government name and it's hard to find the name, run. That's against the rules, and makes it extremely difficult and obvious that they are not legit. So you can run their name at the Department of Commerce and Insurance in the state that they are in, or that they say that they are licensed in. They will show if there is active or has ever been an active license, PI license for that individual.
Jazz is itching to chime in because I know exactly where she's going with this. So I appreciate that, Tactical. Hang out for 1 second. Jazz,
Okay.
Go ahead and explain other ways to to catch if somebody's been nefarious, even though they are a licensed PI.
Yeah, we have this going on right here in Arizona. So there's a private investigator here locally who does have an active license. He's lost his license twice in the last 7 years for complaints, and somehow he's got a good attorney. He keeps getting it back. But if you Google his name and you look at reviews, there's where you're going to find out that he's not as trustworthy as he makes you believe that he is. And so I've just been putting all over my social media to do your research. Google the person's name and see what you can find out. You can ask for references, but they're only going to give you people that they know are going to say good things, right? And the Better Business Bureau, you buy that rating. And it's not that hard for a business to fight the complaints that come in. They favor the business that is paying them over the people that are complaining. I know a family who made a complaint to the Better Business Bureau about the private investigator, and his response was, "This is an employee of a competitor," which is not true. But they discounted and removed the complaint for that reason, even though there was absolutely no proof that this person was an employee of a competitor. So private investigators can help in some cases so much, and they are needed so much in cases. But unfortunately, there are so many out there that are not doing things for the right reasons. And I'm sure that Tactical is going to agree with me on that. There's so many out there that are just doing it to make money, and they're not doing it to actually help families. I wish there were more people, more private investigators that were licensed and willing to help out families, because, you know, that's what happens. The family doesn't have anywhere to turn to, and so they're preyed upon by these private investigators, whether they have a license or don't have a license. I've seen both sides of it, and the families are so desperate for help. And this guy right now that I'm talking about, he is even helping families of children and not charging them, just so he can have bragging rights all over social media and make everybody think that he is the hero of the day. He's not charging families right now. And you would think that would be a good thing, and I would be all over it, but I see what he's doing, and I don't think it's a good thing. He has hurt too many families.
Search and rescue world as well, unfortunately.
Really?
And we just saw that in this last big case. So yeah, it happens on this side as well.
Yeah, you never know until you're in those shoes of the family. You think everybody, you know, that comes and says, "Hey, I'll help you for free," that they're doing it for good, and you want everybody's help because you don't know how to navigate where you're at. And so it's such easy people to prey upon. But actually, Canine Bailey, you know what? I do have a canine story as well. Because we do partner with Dylan's Legacy, who sponsors a lot of canine searches, and they have they also have taken Dylan's remains and they have shared it with canine teams to help train them. And so they've put a lot of fundraising into canine teams. But we had a team one time that went out to a missing person location in Colorado, and they said that this gentleman had been sitting on a bench and then had walked to the water, and that's where the scent disappeared. And they were adamant. This is what the dog said. And fast forward 3 months, when we finally find the person in another state and we say, "Hey, did you sit on that bench and walk to the water?" And he's like, "No, absolutely not. I walked out the door of that hotel and into a Uber and drove off. I was never near that bench." So we knew that that was not a reputable canine handler all along, but they had got a hold of, and actually Mom paid them before we got involved. Mom paid them $500 to come out. So
Bailey wants her name, just so you know. So you know, she wants her name. That's what she's getting ready to tell you.
Yes, one, I do want the name. Two, again, this goes back to
I'll send it to you.
the apples that spoil the bunch. And how many lives have I been on with you, Dan, that I sit here and I talk about certified dogs, certified dogs, certified dogs. And it is so important because you can lead false hope. You can end a case because you've got people that'll believe you when you're like, nope, that's what my dog said. Da da da. When we're doing searches, we are double checking handlers. I get double checked. Other people get double checked. We double check the track because just because Bailey said X, Y, and Z, I'm going to double check him. Why? Not because I am not confident in my ability nor my canine's ability, but I am doing it to double check myself and for the family to make sure we are good to go, because that's what good, credible handlers do. Period. End of story. So when I hear it just irks the living caca out of me when I hear this, because again, you are misleading the investigation. You're wasting time. And the people that are doing this are doing it for the clout. And that was kind of what I was just telling you about. We just had that happen. It wasn't for the money, it was for the clout. And posting these pictures on their social media so they can get that click and can get that, the 15 minutes of fame, this, that, and the other. And it's disgusting. You might see a post on my social medias, but it's of the news stations that have caught me doing something. That's the only time you'll ever see me doing anything. I don't post. You will see me post trainings, but I will never post of a scene. I will never post on an active investigation. None of that, because I don't need the clout. I don't need the praise. I don't need the attention. That's not what I'm here for. And half the time when I'm caught on the camera in the news stations and I'm on the 5 o'clock news, it's because I've already told the news stations to not even put me on it. I will talk about a case that we ended up working on. It was a private eye that brought me in, and the news stations was out there, and I was like, absolutely do not put me on the 5 o'clock news, not even my canine. Why? Because that case was connected to the cartel.
Mm-hmm.
Where did I end up? On the 5 o'clock, the 10 o'clock, on 4 different stations, face and all.
Right. And see, that's the problem. It's not about clout, and that's where I'm gonna come to Devin. Devin didn't choose to be an advocate. Devin's mom's missing. So she took it upon herself, knowing what she's going through, to advocate for the missing persons community. And that makes it a lot harder. Go ahead, Devin.
Yeah. So, sorry, I'm out. So me and my family, we've been going through this for a little over 3 years now. We don't, as much as I would love to say is we have information, we have updates, we have information to release to the public. Just sadly, we don't have any answers after almost over 3 years of this. Sorry, my kids are up. Just 3 years of this constant fight. Like I'm in the same boat as a lot of these families, because I don't have the answers I want. Like, I have many questions that I don't have the answers to. And with this being said, I want to incorporate something very, very important. The information that we do know regarding my mother's disappearance, it would not be possible for us to know the information that we currently know without the help of Missing in America Network. And for that, I cannot thank Jazz, Munchie, Amy, Mind of Monsters, everybody that is affiliated with Devin and the Missing, or even Missing in America Network. Your efforts never go unnoticed. And I thank you from the very bottom of my heart for anybody who has been following my story, or even just supporting what we do on social media. I want to thank each and every one of you. And even I want to add a lot. I do see a lot of our supporters in here as well. And during this time, I would like to thank or ask everybody to please pray for my family. My mother is still missing, and we are in the process of losing my grandfather as well. So it's a very difficult time, but just know I will always be here to spread the factual and correct information pertaining to any missing person investigation, because I want to make it very well known, if you are out there and you are spreading misinformation about these cases, just know that it does a lot more damage than it does good to these cases. And please, before you open up your mouth, imagine how their families would feel. Please. Because a lot of these families, believe it or not, when we are covering these missing person cases, a lot of the times we do have either the families or friends in the chat. And a lot of the questions, or even like theories that a lot of people do come up with, they are very hurtful to the family of an active missing person.
And to go off of that, I know Amanda's dad's in the chat. He's dealing with all the hate comments. He is dealing with all the scam artists. So I invited them to come in here and watch this so they understand where the scammers are coming from. And I also sent their family the link to that page so they have the resources and the ability to see which pages are scam artists. And I urge everyone, I've had Nikki in the chat posted the name of the Facebook group. Jazz made a group on Facebook. It's called Advocates Against Exploitation. The link is in my link tree. Join that group. If you see these pages posting incorrect information, false information, or even cases that are have been already solved weeks, months, years down the already past, we want you guys to put something in the comment section. If you go to that Facebook page, you can get it. If you go to my bulletin board, it's also in there. But we want you guys to post this in the comment section. Where is it? This.
Yeah, if I could add on to that, Dan, the whole idea behind that graphic is there's so many people commenting on those posts and sharing those posts. How do we get the word out to them that this isn't a good page to be supporting and to be sharing from? So that's the whole idea behind that graphic, is if we put that graphic in the comments and enough people look at it and are like, hey, wait. And then once you take a look at their pages, you can tell that they're not real advocates, right? So that's the whole idea behind that. If we all use that graphic and we all work together, because this is bigger than Dan, believe it or not. I mean, and Dan's pretty big. This is bigger than Dan. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than Devin and Mind of Monsters and Tactical and all the organizations out there. It's going to take all of us working together to stop them, because I literally cannot scroll through my Facebook without having to stop and see them. It is so overrun by these pages, and it is taking away from it's desensitizing the public, to be honest with you guys. It really is. That's all I wanted to say.
So Gail, if you go into my bulletin board, it's in there. There's a Facebook group or page that was created by Jazz, Advocates Against Exploitation. It's in there. If you can't find it either way, message me and I'll send it to you. Because, and a lot of people will tell you this, and Mind the Monsters, you've probably seen this as well. When we post updates in these comment sections, they delete them. So they can continue to profitize off of missing persons cases. And enough is enough. If you can't make money on your own creator page, and we're not talking about true crime creators, we're not talking about content creators. These are pages that are specifically designed to exploit.
And Dan, do you mind if I step in and say something about spotting them as being fake or not? One thing that I have found extremely helpful is when you go into the page description, you can see where the admins or the people that run the group are from. And a lot of those you can tell are outside of the United States. One of them being the Family USA is at the very top if you're on a computer at least, at the very top, their share link is a gamer. It's called Gamer Things. And that is obviously not the page's name. And I reached out to Gamer Things and spoke to the old owner of that page. And he had two of his pages, which are now both missing pages, were stolen from him in 2022.
So, hang on real quick. Dora, I don't know which Dora that is. The page was just created when? Yesterday or day before?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So, this is what you're going to be looking for. I'll show you. Give me a second.
Hey, Tactical, let me ask you a question while he's doing whatever he's doing. We got this Facebook update in the last couple days, and I no longer can see that transparency location. Are you still
From
able to see it?
computer or phone?
I can't remember what I was on. Let me look. I'm gonna look on my computer.
Okay, yeah, because on computer it's just a little bit more hidden. It's just a little bit further down.
So, this is the page y'all want to find. Now, I did compile it. You'll find most of these in there, but I had to reach out to advocates to get the rest of these. We did compile a list of organizations and advocates and their logos. I don't know if you can see them all because of the boxes, so let me see if I can change something around there. Nope, that didn't do it. Which one would work? This one? Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Alright, so, well, it doesn't show them all. But in that group, we're going to be posting the rest of these. So the advocates, these are legitimate, real advocates that care. And licensed search teams, licensed nonprofits. There's a group of them listed in there. You got Dear Cassie, Angel Voices, the Petito Foundation, Missing in America Network, Voices of Hearts and Hands, Princess Takes Flight, A Voice for the Voiceless, Black and Missing, the Broken Link Foundation, the Aware Foundation, the Florida Themis Project, someone by the name of Devin and the Missing. I don't know who that is. That's new to me. Black and Brown Missing Persons, Light the Way, Community for the Missing. Nikki, where's the other ones? They're on my phone.
I also want to tell you that I did follow you off of my nonprofit that I'm the VP of, which is the Time Foundation, We do search and rescue for natural disasters, but I am going to take it to the board on possibly posting the missing people in the areas as well.
All right, I had to send them all to Facebook so I could see them all. All right, then you got Voices for Victims, Dutch Girl, of course, myself, Oklahoma Metro Search and Rescue, Hope Alive 845. Of course, Search and Rescue K9 Bailey, which is right there. Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women USA. I don't know who Minded Monsters is. And that's just a few of them. We haven't got them all compiled yet because there is going to be a lot more once we start reaching out to more advocates and organizations. But this has become a very serious problem. Yes, so missing. The page just came up yesterday. We will start getting everything in there, but we wanted to get prepared for tonight because of the urgency that is needed with this. They're nonstop on these pages and they have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of flyers. Evaporate, I need you to send me your logo, please. I see you in the chat. But these are trusted, whether they're nonprofit, whether they're real advocates, these are trusted ones. Trusted search teams. So if you don't see these logos on any of these posts that you see, verify what you're looking at before you share it, before you make a comment, before you do anything. Run that name. If you type that name that they're claiming that is missing, if it's a child and you type it into National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and it's not in there, type that name into Google. Type that name into Facebook. And it will tell you anything if there is something in regards to that person being missing. If you can't find anything, 9 times out of 10, they're not missing.
I do want to add in on this. If you're asking a SAR professional for any certifications that they may have and they hem-haw around or object, run. I don't have mine listed on my socials, but if you ask me, I will send you literally the thumb drive of all of my certs that you can look through. So that, again, will kind of help you weed out a good search professionals versus the ones that are just trying to get their 15 minutes.
Now, Minded Monsters, I overheard something in one of your lives about one of the reasons why you're involved with the missing, about someone you know went missing.
My oldest son went missing, and I got to learn firsthand how it is to have a missing adult and the feedback that you get from law enforcement that they're an adult and they have the right to go missing.
Now, say you weren't an advocate. Same question for you, Devin. And any families that are missing in the chat, respond. If you scroll on Facebook and see somebody that is posting your missing loved one's flyer after they have been located, or posting misinformation in regards to that case, how is that going to make you feel?
Uncomfortable. Not safe. Question. It would definitely make me question. Hurt. If it was my loved one that had been found and is still continuously getting posted, I would feel like they've been violated. Can't hear you, Dan.
I was responding to Kenny's post. That's sad.
What is it?
They called off searches.
Oh no.
Weather?
How do you, Allie? Yeah, Devin. I know it upsets you because it's happened. It's happened so many times where somebody said your mom's not missing. Um, Thank you, Evaporate. I'll add it to the.
Times than I can even count. People have tried to state to me that my mother is not technically listed as a missing person. And it's, to be honest, it's one of the most frustrating things that a family can hear.
It really is. And when you guys see these pages on Facebook and you engage with them, it makes them money. It really does. It makes them money for all your engagement and everything like that. And with Facebook not taking these pages down, not taking these posts down, the only thing we can do to get them to stop is to stop their wallet. So what we have to do is make sure people don't share, engage, or anything with these types of pages. That's the only way we can make it stop.
And I just want to say real quick too, Dan, and this is to families, this is to chatters, this is to the community, is make sure you know who's advocating for your loved one. Make sure that they're a trusted source. If you reach out to an advocate, if you're on the phone with someone that's an advocate and you ask them, what is your background? What is your training? What is your certification? And you can hear a keyboard or you get a long hesitation, throw up red flags and reach out to a credible, vetted source and ask, hey, have you ever had this person help? Do you know this person? Those are very important things. And there was a question way back in the chat, is what is hurtful things that it can be said with missing families, loved ones. So what I like to tell my community and what I stress is, if it was your missing loved one, would you want to read that comment? Think before you comment. Think before you post. If you see a page that has never posted a photo of a child before, but all of a sudden their son went missing and all you have is a first name, vet that child's missing. Reach out to one of us. We will be more than happy to look into it for you before you go sharing that post. Because not only do we see these pages like the celebrity and all these other sick pages that have just popped up, like Dan said, like crazy wildfire the past year, but we're also seeing individual pages, like personal FB pages. And it not only happens on there, it happens on X too. And I've even had one reach out to me, and it was one that had used the same missing child's post for like 5 different names of the child. So vet who you're working with. Vet the missing persons group. These groups are 501c3s. You're not going to reach out to a missing persons advocate or a missing persons group and them say, oh yeah, I'll make a flyer for you. Can you CA? Can you V me $20 and I'll get it to you? That's not going to happen because we're not going to ask you for that. We're going to ask you for pictures, a description, a case number, all the things that are important. We're not going to say, oh yeah, here's my CA. As soon as I see my $20, I got you. That's not going to happen. So just be very careful. I see her. I see she's done leaned in the she did the lean.
A real advocate does not care about the dollar sign. A real advocate cares about the families and the missing individual. That is it.
It's my bad eyesight. I had to take my glasses off so I could read my phone. So that's why I'm leaning in.
Oh, it looked like you wanted to respond.
Oh, I could respond to all of it. Believe me. I could respond to all of it. We've seen so much. I like listening to other people, though. I'm sick of hearing myself talk. So I love listening to Mind of Monsters and everybody else up here.
I will jump in and say that if you guys have anybody, as far as on the SAR side, a team that you are questioning, feel free to reach out to me and I will vet them on my side the best I can. Outside of the network I have and knowing the different organizations that they could possibly, be quote unquote certified through, because I know that it would be easier and quicker on my end. So if you have those questions, feel free to reach out.
So, real quick, Crystal, what case and why was it closed?
And while we're waiting for Crystal to respond, if there is a missing individual that you cannot find information on and would like somebody else to vet it, my inbox is open. I can look on state websites, help, and I'm not opposed to getting on the phone day or night with the police department to verify. They probably all know me by name. I do it all the time. Inbox me. I will gladly help vet any missing individual, child or adult, to make sure that they are missing and that you're sharing an active missing case.
Nikki, can you look into that case for me?
Dan, while we're doing that, can we also talk about the fact that credible SAR teams will not self-deploy?
Yes, so you could talk about that because you know how heated I get when people go out on searches without being certified. So go ahead.
And I'm any better? Okay, so if you have a team that is self-deploying, run. I will not come to and work a case unless I am in direct contact with LE and the department and I have their permission. So if you have people that are just gun-ho to come out, this, that, and the other, just don't do it. Do not do it. I mean, I don't even know what else to say about that, Dan, other than it causes problems. I know that families their emotions are involved and they're wanting people to come out and they're wanting all this help, but it could potentially be detrimental to the case. And sometimes on these lives when we have family members, when I come into your live and we have family members in the chat or up in a box and I come in, I'm very black and white and I'm going to tell you the truth. I'd rather you hate me for the truth than love me for a lie. And it might come across crass or that I don't care, but I'm doing it in a professional sense of I'm trying to help you out whether you see it right now or not, because I don't want your case being messed up. I don't want volunteers coming in and trampling over things or, doing other things that they shouldn't be doing in your case. So it's very important to have that healthy relationship with the LE, even though I do understand and I have heard the cases that the partnership and the work between the department and the families are not there as much as I would love for them to be there. It's still important on the SAR side that we do have that when it comes to missing persons cases.
Well, comment a little bit about this. So your canines are actually certified. Their search can go into court and be testimony in a criminal trial. And so if you bring in somebody that doesn't have those certifications, their dogs don't have those certifications, and they don't have permission and we're not invited, and they find that foul play took place, that may invalidate everything that was just found because you didn't use the proper resources.
100%, and I'm so glad you kind of went further into that.
Yeah.
And that's where we just had this conversation ish on a particular case with a particular organization. Trying to mind my face over here. But it is, and I think that's where, again, because the emotions are so high on the family that they're just not able to understand in that moment of how critical that is. Because if I'm working a case and it's an HRD case, especially even a live, on the live fine side, we're going to be called into court, and the defense's job is to tear me down. The defense job is to tear my canine down, my training down, and poke holes in any which way they can. That is their job. Do I like it? No. Can I get mad at it? But that's their job. That's what they're hired to do. So when it comes to the canine side of it, their training logs in general, all of that comes into play. My training aspects come into play. Was my dog? I've seen it to where they'll even take environmentals into it. Well, how's your dog ever been successful in this type of terrain and environments, rain, snow, X, Y, and Z? I see in your training logs that you noted that they had difficulty because of X, Y, and Z, and they'll use that against you. Even though we're documenting everything in our training logs, to build a better dog and to be honest, all of that stuff can come back to us if we are called into court. And if you are an HRD and working a case, you will be called into court. I have not seen it to where you haven't been, especially if you make the find. So that's a good point.
And
Yeah,
I'll
it's no
piggyback off
joke.
that real quick. Searching on private property.
Are you asking me to go into this?
I mean, I can.
Go ahead.
You know I did that for a specific reason, right?
I know, that's why my head dropped. You're putting
Okay,
me
so
on the hot spot.
I'll go ahead and
I'll be the bad person.
I'll go ahead and say
You know
it.
what?
So, if you do not have property owner's consent, or if you're not law enforcement with a warrant, don't cross nobody's property. That can also get a case torn up in court.
And as handlers, we have to be we are assigned quadrants. We are assigned places to search by Ellie, right? And this is why SARTEC 2 and all this other stuff is important as far as certifications of being able to read maps, because we're given a map, we're given apps, we're given GPSs, and we need to know how to actually read all of this stuff so we stay within our boundaries. Now, we are dealing with animals. Are they going to cross a boundary? Yes, they can, right? But it's our job as handlers to make sure that doesn't happen. Does it happen? Yes, it does happen. But again, it's our job to make sure that it doesn't happen. And if we come across those areas, then we call our dog back. This is why, because if the dog is going on to a quadrant that they're not allowed and hasn't been vetted by LE and it quote unquote is private property, anything, say that person or any item is found in that area, it's automatically dismissible in court. I don't want to say automatically, because you had a lawyer or an attorney that was on here, and there are some gray areas. Again, this goes into being further in your education as a handler, and a lot of handlers don't go into basically case law is what we call it. And so there's gray areas, but as handlers, you've got to be very aware that gray area can get you into a pile that you might not be able to climb out of. Mm-hmm. So it's, back and forth on that. So if you come across something, again, it doesn't automatically make it indismissible in court, but it does raise a huge question around whatever you found. And instead of finding it in a legitimate way, where those questions are not there, then you just pretty much handed a golden ticket to the defense.
Exactly.
And
Now,
the same exact thing goes for private investigating as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, I will tell you, I worked a case 3 years ago, and Bailey was showing some interest in an area that I was not allowed to go. It was private property and it was not in my area, so I went back and to talk to a specific agency and was like, "Hey, just FYI, I'm like, this area over here. Hey guys." And it took them a while, but they were able to say, "Okay, well, we've got some, reasonable cause to go and say, hey, you can voluntarily let us, search it, or we can go, further." And the people actually let us voluntarily. They were like, "No, go ahead." So that is kind of, as a handler, the way that you should approach those incidents, to where you just don't go and do. You are not the save all be all of things. There's protocols of how you should handle yourself on a professional manner, because at the end of the day, it's your name, it's your team's name. And like my grandfather said, the only thing you got in this world is your name and your reputation.
correct, 100%. Now, I could get the lawyer in here and ask her opinion on what we can do to these groups. I wonder if she's available. You guys can keep chatting amongst you. Give me a second.
As we all stare at each other.
So how y'all doing?
Hey.
It has been an insane 2026, but I thank you each and every one for everything you do. You guys are an inspiration, and you're just amazing. And the families appreciate you guys, and the community, and I'm honored to sit on a panel with so many amazing, beautiful advocates and private eye and search team.
You are just as amazing.
Yes.
I never knew that you had a missing son. I
So
never knew
Allie's
that.
on her way right now.
After
I
all
don't
this
talk about
time?
it a lot. I don't talk about it a lot because once he was found, he went through a lot of health issues and stuff, but I went live one night. I was very emotional, and I should have never went live out of emotion, and I told the entire story of what happened, and he was very upset with me.
Mm.
And I learned the hard way that when somebody is found and they ask for privacy, they need privacy, even if it's your son.
Yeah. And that's hard
But
because you went through it too. I mean, it is your experience too. So you just have to do it in a safe place of a couple close friends or whatever, right?
yep,
Yeah.
I learned, I tell the brief, the Cliff Notes version now, just because people ask me, what's your story? How did you get started? What gives you the passion you have? And I mean, it is my story as well as his too. And even after everything had happened, a few years had passed, and when Riley Strain went missing, he reached out to me and was like, "Mom, I love you, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of what you do, and can I help?" And he went boots on the ground, and
Oh, that's
he
beautiful.
did it for Riley. And I love that he's actually a huge support in the background. He doesn't come on my panels, he doesn't come on the lives, he'll come in the chats, but he's a very huge support of what I do, and he got a understanding of why I do what I do.
All right, real quick, let me address. There's questions in the chat. And then I got Allie. She's sick, so I don't want to keep her here a lot. So the topic tonight is the advocates for the missing persons community has had enough. There are so many fake Facebook pages that have nothing to do with missing persons that continuously spread false information, continuously post flyers even after the children have been located. So we are here to try to put an end to it. So, Allie, the reason why I needed you real quick, legally, in a legal aspect, what can be done about these pages doing this on Facebook?
Well, I mean, it's probably about right, Facebook and TikTok and all of those other things are not going to take them down. I'm sure, you can report it, but they don't give a shit. I've experienced that personally and professionally. They literally don't give a shit. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. The families could take action because it's basically false advertisement. It's false information. They could also set a cease and desist, right? You don't just have unilaterally authority to just post someone's minor, particularly a minor child, right, without consent of parents, or, the guardian. But if you're posting that a child is still missing when they're found, it causes a huge risk for everyone, right, including the child, right? Because you may see a child that looks similar or a person that looks similar, call the police, and then now we're in a scramble. And I'm sure you guys know this is why you're advocating for it, but that's the problem. So, I mean, the families could certainly send letters and honestly file lawsuits against these pages. I mean, it's actionable because it's false. It's libel, it's slander, and it's a shame because I would assume, this is probably a bad assumption, but I would assume that these people are trying to find the child or the person, but what are they posting? Then what are they posting for? Clicks?
Yep.
That's even worse. It's disgusting, honestly. It's vile. And my mouth can run a mile a minute if it has to. But I mean, listen, I would just get somebody to start writing letters. The problem that you have is when you guys do this, right, you're doing all 50 states, if not international, right? So I don't know any lawyer that's barred in 50 states, right? So it becomes an issue of finding a lawyer in the state to issue cease and desist or pre lawsuit letters. That's the problem. And I know some of the people you're talking about. I'm well aware of things, but think about cases like high profile, like Brian Kohlberger, for example. The shit that I see on him, I'm like, where did this come from? Like, what is this, right? But people just make shit up. It's sad. It's sad.
So, yeah, these pages, a lot of these, the title of the pages has nothing to do with advocacy. Not only that, but if you search in their information on these pages, they are not even in the United States.
That's even worse.
What did Chef say? I missed it.
He said
Yes, so he is correct.
they're making GoFundMe. Oh, sorry, can't say that word. Sorry.
So a lot of these pages do make GoFundMe. We just, where's Tactical? There was an organization we just had to expose last year for doing the same very thing. Missing people in America.
That's the other thing you can do is that's the other thing you can do is, I hate to expose other people. Like, that's just not who I am. But when it's necessary, you have to basically, get everyone together and just say, this is bullshit. This is not true.
Well, that's kind of what today was. Well, let me take the we out of it. Jazz created a Facebook page, Advocates Against Exploitation. It is in my link tree. We're welcoming true advocates, families of the missing, anybody that is wanting to know the truth, wanting to see real resources. That includes content creators, true crime creators. They're not who we're after. We're after these other pages like the Baxters, and so on and so forth that don't update their post. They post a missing person that has been found weeks after they've been found, months after they've been found, years after they've been found, just for the clicks and views.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think of, is to spam report, which again, it doesn't do anything. Like I've done that on other stuff and it just doesn't work. Um, but the family should be aware at a minimum, I would think. I mean, I know, Dan, you have a lot of contacts with a lot of families. I'm not saying every single person, but, they should be aware. They can do something about it. Honestly, I think in my opinion, there should be some sort of, I don't want to use the word accreditation, but like some kind of, all these people on this panel are more than qualified, but do some kind of, these are legit missing people, creators and advocates, something of that word, and we're part of blah 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 organization. Maybe somebody can make a nonprofit or something to that effect, like the missing advocates or something, and you can qualify to be in it, be vetted and be in it. But like that's really what needs to happen, because it's a shame. It really is. And if that was my kid, I'd be losing my shit, right? Or anyone I know, really, because also, like, when people come back home, right, they probably ran from some sort of trauma, or one would assume, right? So they need a lot of help. But people just do shit because they think social media is an easy job. And I'm here to tell you that I do social media and I do be a lawyer, and they both have their challenges, but social media is a lot more difficult, in my opinion. Maybe it's because I'm new to it, but it's hard. You got to dig up stuff. You got to post stuff, make sure your stuff's accurate. There's a lot more hate on social media than there is. It's easy for people to hide behind screens. That's the problem.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, young lady, I'm gonna let you rest. I appreciate you answering some questions. I know you're sick.
Well, I'm not sick. I'm just pregnant, and so I get nauseous quite often. So
Oh no!
yeah. So that's,
Don't
I'm
tell
not
me
like
we
sick.
got another alley running around.
Well, we do have one of those already in the world, but we also have one in my belly. So, look out, world. But
The world's coming to an end now.
yeah, it sure is. But that's all right. What are you gonna do? But
That's all
sometimes
right.
I just I'm like, don't feel good. So that's really why I've been kind of hiding from social media. But
Hey, I don't blame you.
but yeah, I'll listen in. I'm about to quick jump in the shower before the snow hits and we have no damn power in this place. But other than that, I'll listen. Thank you guys for the congrats and the gifts. I appreciate it. Dan, if you need anything else, let me know.
All right.
Thanks.
Later,
Bye.
For
Allie.
being
Love you,
here.
Allie.
See ya, Minor Monster. See ya, Missing. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do you know how? Oh, yeah, she knows how to get out. So, again, advocates against exploitation. If you're a content creator, if you're a true crime fanatic, hop in that group. This isn't towards you guys. This is towards these fake pages on Facebook that think that they can exploit children, exploit families for monetary gain, and we've had enough. And yes, they are using AI. So the name of the group is Advocates Against Exploitation. It's a page, not a group. The link is in my link tree if you can't find it. So, any last words from any of y'all?
Thank you for doing this. I think it was really important to get the word out there. Thank you, Jazz, for creating a group. I think it's really important to bring awareness to this because it has become a urgent and huge problem. And like I said about the past year, we've always seen them since I've been doing this, but there is a crazy amount of them now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Jazz, thank you so very much for creating that.
Yeah, look at it's not something that I want to do myself. I want us all to do it. So
Right.
I've been, invited a bunch of people to admin, and we have room for a few more. And I just think it's a good place that we can educate people on safe places and places that maybe you need to block that. I blocked so many of them because I just don't want to see them anymore.
Infuriating.
It distracts me. I mean, my feed is bad enough as it is because I am a member of so many groups and follow so many police stations. Like it's crazy to scroll through, you guys know what I mean. But then on top of that, to get those, I don't want to see them. And I also want everybody that has groups to know, don't let those into your groups. Don't let those shares into your groups, because that's how they're populating and getting shared over and over. And it's taking away from organizations that are devoting their time and energy into supporting families. And the people that are working with families, they're out there, they're doing the boots on the ground, the hard work. And those are the people that need the support, not somebody sitting in Indonesia clicking their keyboard with their feet in the sand,
Yes.
Yeah. So, hey, I am going to run real quick. Thank you so much, Dan. And it was a pleasure to meet in person or over this TikTok thing that I'm so not a pro. All of you guys. And so big hugs all around. I appreciate everybody. And I love being a part of such a welcoming group of advocates across the country. I love that there's no exclusivity in advocacy, and I love how we all live that way and work so well together. There are so many industries and places where competition and ego take over, and I don't see that with any of us. And I love that so much with all of you guys. So big hugs to y'all.
Bye, Jazz.
See you, Jazz. Thank you.
I don't know how to get out of here. Tell me what to do.
Oh wait, don't say anything. I'll take care of you, Jazz. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful night. I will see you guys tomorrow.